How you doing? I'm Willie Mayette from JazzPianoLessons.com and PianoWithWillie.com, and I'd like to welcome you to this third volume of Jazz Piano Improvisation. In this DVD lesson, we're going to be talking about bebop lines and how to create bebop lines, kind of like the ones that I was just demonstrating right there. All right. There's many different ways of creating bebop lines. We're going to go through a lot of different, what I like to call kind of vocabulary words, these little snippets that you can paste together and create longer and longer lines, okay? I'm going to show you how to be able to start to apply these ideas into new keys. I'm going to show you three separate 2-5-1 examples that are 2 measures long and 3 that are 1 measure long. And actually, I even show you how to kind of fool around with them and come up with even more permutations. So by the end of this lesson, you're going to have several different lines in several different keys that you'll be able to apply to your 2-5-1 and 5-7-1 chord progressions. Okay, so there's a lot of information to get to, and it's a lot of fun. So let's get to it. All right, so now let's talk about the diminished chord built on the flatted ninth. So if we remember, I was telling you before that the half-whole diminished chord is kind of like 2 diminished chords stacked on top of one another. Well, if we take a look at that diminished chord built on the flat 9 of C, right, so it'd be C sharp, E, G, and B flat. Look at the notes that you end up getting in that diminished chord. You have your flatted ninth, your third, your fifth, and your flatted 7th. All right, so if we just take that and arpeggiate it going up, you can hear that you can get some really neat sounds using that diminished chord. What's really cool about it as well is that since it's 4 notes, it works perfectly in those 4-note groupings, okay? And remember, most of the time in bebop, you're going to be playing 8th note lines, da 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 da, okay, a steady string of 8th notes. So that means that 8 eighth notes make up 1 measure. Well, here you could have 4 eighth notes. So in a measure of C7, you could go, there you go, there's your measure of C7. Or, all right, or, there's 2 measures of C7. Right? So all I'm doing is arpeggiating that C diminished 7th chord. Okay? I'm sorry, the diminished 7th chord built on the flatted ninth. It's actually, if you, right, here is this common bebop line. You'll see this line written many different places. What I did is I wrote it out here in 4 different keys. Let me just go ahead and play it. All right. So basically, remember what this was? That was that leaping minor third that we talked about. So starting on the, you can also look at it as the C bebop scale, right? Now what I like to see is, I like seeing, like, look at that. You see that G minor triad in there? See that G minor triad? I keep just kind of like playing that minor triad so you can see it. All right, see how it's outlining that minor triad, the 3rd and then the 5th? That's just a double chromatic into that 3rd. And then here, what's that? It's going to the 5th of C7, but it's really a 6-5 resolution, okay? Or a whole step from above into the target note. Now if I do this on A, so I'm approaching the 3rd. It's always easy to remember, oh, just approach the 3rd, go up a whole step from the 3rd, and then to my 5, and then I just go up and it's 6-5. So I can just think, use that 5th as your target, or think of that triad. If you see that triad, if you see those notes of that triad as being these target notes, then it's easy to be able to play this line in many different keys. Do it in the key of B. Remember, here's that triad. E, D sharp, D, F sharp, C sharp, and then B natural. Do it in the key of E. Notice what I did here? I changed the voicing because that'd be too low, right? A flat, G, B, F sharp to E. Say I was going to do C minor 7 to F7. You know, so kind of get a little funky with it, and then do it like a half step there instead, which would be sharp 5 on F7. You also do a double chromatic there as well. So what I did, so rather than just resolving down to C like that, that's what I did there. That instead of just going down to the C, I did the whole above, then half below, half above to the target. You know, some of this, like I said, is not traditional, but it sounds really cool, and it gives you kind of a little bit of a distinctive flair to it. So try doing that common bebop line, at least in those 4 keys, and then try doing it in a couple of different keys as well. So we ended up doing it in 5. We did it in the key of B flat as well, C minor to F7. All right? So, excuse me. I'll see you in the next chapter.